DLC Pack 3 is about to drop on Le Mans Ultimate the coming week, and guys, we are deep in dive into the video that has been published by Studio 397 and Le Mans Ultimate to check out what is the content addition to our beloved Le Mans Ultimate game simulation.
We're back again, Le Mans Ultimate fans, with another update to the game, and this one is big. It's chock full of features and content that you've probably been waiting for since launch day, and we're pleased to bring this to you as a Christmas gift. Since we're on the subject of content, let's start here. Number 1. GT3 cars. When we launched in February, many of you asked why not release with these rather than the GTE cars. Well, unfortunately, we only knew just before Christmas last year which cars would feature in 2024, and with 9 incredible manufacturers to represent alongside no reference material at the time, it just wasn't possible. Since then, it has been a long and enjoyable labour of love to begin to fill out this grid. The McLaren 720S LMGT3 Evo will be available as a free DLC item to all base game users in early access. Simply add it to your library and away you go. You'll be able to race against any other GT3 car in both online and offline sessions. We worked closely with passionate sim and real-world race driver James Baldwin to get this one right. There will be another free GT3 car coming before the 2024 grid is complete as well. In Pack 3 of the 2024 Season Pass, you'll also get access to the Ferrari 296, the Corvette Z06 and the BMW M4 LMGT3s. Each of these have their own unique characteristics that you can feel whilst driving along with very distinct engine sounds. We've balanced these cars to perform at the same level and will continue to do so as the communities drive them in anger for the first time and we receive performance data through race control. My personal favourite is the Ferrari 296, but I'm looking forward to hearing your preferences.
So finally then, the waiting is over and we received the fully awaited Le Mans GT3 spec cars on Le Mans Ultimate. And guys, that is going to be a huge one, because not only is GT3 the most important and the most popular type of racing cars in the sim racing world, we have received information not only in that particular video, but also from James Baldwin himself, as in how good those GT3 cars are. So looking forward to the BMW, to the Corvette, to the McLaren and to the Ferrari. We have also seen the silhouettes and the 3D models of an Aston Martin and the Ford Mustang GT3. So those are in the works right now. That is already a hint towards as what we can be looking for in the future as more GT3 content drops. However, since I've said this is an important update, because as you know, the GT3 is being literally in every sim like ACC, iRacing, Race Room, Automobilista, like call whatever sim you want, you'll find GT3 cars on it. That is a huge benchmark that needs to be set, that needs to be overcome as well. Like, if the GT3 content on Le Mans Ultimate is the flop, that will have an extreme impact on the overall resume, on the overall rating of the simulation. However, it is very promising that we've heard from James Baldwin that the McLaren 720S GT3 that he just tested and accordingly developed together with the guys at Le Mans Ultimate is one of the best feeling and driving experience he has, comparing the real life experience to the sim racing experience. So that is something to look out for, and that obviously also puts the pressure on Studio 397 and Le Mans Ultimate to deliver the best possible GT3 experience. Now, we've said this before in many ways. It is always a big point of arguing what feels better, what is more realistic, what is more towards a target audience, what is more towards realism, what is more to like actually being realistic physics. If you feel that discussion on iRacing, it goes like black and white. Someone's like, no, this is completely off. Someone else might be like, that is completely on. And we've heard that about R Factor 2 as well. Like, the driving is so good, but man, you can't do the braking like that in real life. Same goes for ACC. That full send of braking on ACC in the braking zone is what many people deem as not being realistic. However, we should probably just should take a step backwards and not saying like what is the most realistic, what is the most accurate, blah blah blah. Maybe we should just be like, what is the most satisfaction? What is the most enjoyable driving feeling-wise, driving experience-wise? And I think that is something we can look forward on Le Mans Ultimate, hopefully with a great addition on LMGT3. Now, as we have the hypercars, as we have the LMP2 cars, as we do have the GTE runners, each of these cars, they feature traction control as in TC, TC slip, TC cut, but neither of that car, or these cars that I've just counted up here, runs any ABS system. The only ABS that we do have in the game is like a gaming assist, and the ABS that's coming now with the LMGT3 is going to be an inbuilt ABS system within the electronics inside the GT3 cockpits, and that is a great addition. That is an interesting addition in terms of technology, and I think it's time to dive into more news about the ABS system from the video. But before heading into the ABS system, guys, have a thumbs up on the video if you appreciate this. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and ring the bell for the more Ultimate content.
One area that we spent a lot of thought on was the anti-lock braking system, or ABS, for cars in this class. We've created a 4-sensor system which, like their real-life counterparts, samples each wheel at 40 Hz, cutting each brake input independently if it exceeds the slip thresholds on the map you're using. Just like the real system, our ABS system has some response time to deal with and leads to the characteristic rumble you'd expect in real life. There are no fake effects here. Due to the realistic nature of the ABS system, simply stumping on the brakes is never faster than accurate pressure input. The accurate portrayal of what is happening on each tyre, simulating in the game, and its translation into force feedback will result in slight differences between cars and even setups, and can be used to find lap time. We're confident that this first grouping of GT3 cars will be the very best in sim racing. Due to the countless hours of development, the driver and manufacturer support, we've worked hard to get them right.
Wow, so that is a bold accusation. Mr. Hood just said we created the most intense and most realistic and most in-depth immersive GT3 experience in the sim racing world. So that in itself is like a huge campaign. That is also triggering everyone's expectation to be like, whoa, so this must be it, right? So there is a lot at risk. Either the GT3 is a pitch perfect and everyone will be loving it, and that will help the more Ultimate grow as a, inside the community, grow with a player base and so on, or those expectations will not be met, or people will not like it, and that might be a huge downdraft then on the other side. I think this is a real turning point, a real, maybe the most important update Le Mans Ultimate is ever doing to their platform as of right now. About the ABS, they were speaking about a 40 Hz frequency, checking on each wheel independently, according on the braking. We saw differently flashing LED lights in the cockpit according to how the ABS is working on either side of the car. That in itself, it feels revolutionary, and the problem is, that said, I do not know how other games are treating the ABS system, whether it is like just as sophisticated, just as independently, or whether other games or other simulations are just operating the ABS on an axis itself. It remains unknown to me personally, as in how accurate and as in how much of a special thing, a special ABS implementation that is going to be. However, what is an interesting fact though is, as Stephen Hood has said, each car will have an own characteristics of braking. As we know, some cars might decelerate better than other cars, so that also plays a key factor in the balance of performance. And the balance of performance is something that has been done vastly for a couple of tracks right now, I guess. But what was said in the video is that as we are moving along into daily races, creating results, creating comparable results and comparable performances between the cars across many races, that is where race control is giving them the data to further enhance on the balance of performance. So that will be interesting to see how that is pushing forward the development for balance of performance, and also how they are integrating the LMGT3 cars into the ecosystem on Le Mans Ultimate.
Number 2, Interlagos. A personal favourite of many of you, myself included, Interlagos is our third DLC track in the 2024 Season Pass and Pack 3. Its distinctive green, white and yellow curbs alongside its undulating hills make for the perfect sports car venue that I have no doubt will feature heavily in your online and offline races. The attention to detail you can always expect from Studio 397 is there, all around the track, including the wonderful Ayrton Senna mural by the pit entrance. As always, our tracks are created from precision laser scans alongside reference material. We believe this will become the definitive version of Interlagos in sim racing, and we can't wait for you to enjoy it.
And last but not least, for the DLC Pack 3, the track. The Autodromo José Carlos Pache, also better known as Interlagos, the Brazilian racetrack, coming to Le Mans Ultimate in a typical Studio 397 fashion, with being laser scanned and, well, according to the looks of it, probably the most accurate version of Interlagos that we've seen across all sim racing platforms right now. I think we have a quite outdated version on iRacing. The versions we had for R-Factor 2 are quite a bit old, and I would also say probably not the top-notch level of laser scanned racetracks being done by Studio 397 nowadays. So we're looking forward to this racetrack, which means there's only one track left, which is going to be Qatar, to come probably with the next update, hopefully. Either way though, would you guys rather would have had Qatar instead of Interlagos? Can you understand why they have maybe favored Interlagos over Qatar? Personally, I would have loved to see Qatar more than Interlagos, but I guess Interlagos is the more iconic, more famous and more beloved racetrack in the sim racing community. But I'm interested in your thoughts, guys. Let me know down in the comments area below. And that's already it for the DLC updates, for the content updates on Le Mans Ultimate. However, there is a feature updates as well on Le Mans Ultimate, with the DLC Pack 3 dropping, and we're gonna check them out in a separate video. So if you don't want to miss out on that one, once again guys, have a like on the video, subscribe us on the YouTube channel, and hit the bell to not miss out on more videos regarding the Le Mans Ultimate updates.